From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets. Okay. We are in the Berlin en el edificio. Let's get right, man. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Let's get right. Oh, my thing messed up. Hold on. Let me fix my camera. Dang, I ain't checked my filter. That's crazy. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Brethren and sistren, we are here to gather around to talk about this boxing ting. It's BoxingTingz in the rings. But before we do, we always got to get right, man. We got to thank our Lord, Father, Savior, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Bow your heads, please, if you indulge. If not, take a peel and chill. Lord Jesus, thank you for this blessing. Thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for leading us in the right direction, Lord. Thank you for giving us patience and understanding, even with those that are close to us or far from us blatantly misunderstand us based on their own preconceived notions. Lord, please give us the strength to know that we are judged by you and you alone, and not what others believe or conceive or perceive about us, Lord. And please let us always keep in mind that while we are trying to prove our worth and to you and praise you, that we most importantly live how we think that you would live. That's with acceptance, that's with love, and that's with faith. In Jesus' name, thank you, Lord, for the blessings. Let's have a great, wonderful week. In Jesus' name. Amen. Let's get it, man. So today, man, I was looking at some things, man. And I saw Jared Anderson. We talked about this maybe this weekend, during the live boxing commentary. We found out, I think it was probably maybe yesterday or the day before, we found out Jared Big Baby Anderson, he's going against Martin Bakole on the loaded, stacked, heavy card on August 3rd, Riyadh season in LA when Big Turk is coming through and infiltrating the states, and he's going to be in LA where headlining is Terrence Crawford's Israel Madrimov for the 154 title, junior middleweight title. That card also features Andy Cruz, the up and comer, versus Antonio Moran, I believe. Who else is on that card? Of course, Andy Ruiz versus Jared Big Baby Miller. We got two big babies on there because, of course, the aforementioned Jared Big Baby Anderson versus Martin Bakole. And I'm missing somebody. Oh, of course, one of my favorite fighters, Isa Pitbull Cruz, going against Jose Rayo Valenzuela. And I feel like I'm missing somebody else. But, yeah, it's just that. Oh, David Morrell. I'm talking about going against Hot Rod. That's going to be a fire show, man. And so, in preparation for that, Jared Big Baby Anderson has sought the tutelage and the coaching and the instruction of none other than Sugar Hill, Sugar Hill Stewart, we come out of the same Kronk gym and stuff like that. Rest in peace to late great Emmanuel Stewart. And, Sugar Hill Stewart most famously trains Fury. He's been training Tyson Fury since Deontay Wilder, right? And I'm as great as I think Sugar Hill Stewart is. I'm not sure how much he can help Jared Big Baby Anderson, but admittedly, I'm not a big fan of Jared Big Baby Anderson. I'm just not convinced that he's the future of the heavyweight division of American heavyweight division, much less let alone the whole heavyweight division. I feel like he's a little overrated, but I am rooting for him, man. I'm rooting for him that he does shine because he seemingly has the tools to be able to shine. He seemingly has the people behind him. It just seems like he doesn't have the desire from just the way he talks about boxing and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but when you do have the expectations and you make it seem like you do want to be on top of the game, but then your actions speak otherwise. And if somebody has 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it's kind of hard to be for me to be convinced at least. Yo, wrap up podcast in the building. What's good, my God? But the thing with Sugar Hill Stewart, I read an article today. I can't remember who wrote it. I want to say it was on Boxing News. I be reading boxing articles so much I forget exactly where I stumbled upon this information. But I want to say it's boxing news, but don't quote me 100%. But I saw that someone said that the square circle with Tech Dumb Dad, man. My boy changed his name. What's good, brethren? How you doing, dog? I'm going to be launching the boxing channel next week. Come by and talk some boxing. You know I got you, bro. I appreciate the invitation. Yes, sir, man. Go hit my boy Squared Circle with Tech Dumb Dad. It's good to see more people in this space, and I'll definitely be checking you out, bro. Yes, sir. You know it. I noticed your name changed on my comments. I was like, I wonder if that sounds like a boxing channel if you ask me. You know, so good for you, bro. I'm happy to hear that. We need more intelligent, intelligent, thoughtful, analytical, and honest people in the space. You know what I'm saying? Whether people don't have to be in concurrence with our opinions, but at least have your opinions come from an honest, genuine, authentic, informed place. That's all we ask. We just need more people that have influence due to their meticulousness. You know, the fact that they're meticulous and they're thorough and they're, you know, and thoughtful, you know. People that come up with all types of crazy stuff and just intentionally omit information, vital information, essential information, or, you know, or just come from a place of meat slobbing. You know what I'm talking about? Let me just be frank, man. For lack of a better term, they just be meat swallowing, man. They be meat slobbing and meat swallowing. You know what I'm talking about? And that's never good for news, because that's where a lot of misinformation and fake news comes from, you know? So it's just, everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's right all the time, but just at least try to be, you know what I'm saying? Prioritize being right instead of prioritizing being first, prioritizing being controversial, or prioritizing being likes, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, shout out to my boy Tech Dumb Dad, man. Hey, my boy Illuminati in the building. Big mod in this pain. Different opinions make for good content. Yo, yeah, of course. The good debates makes good content, man. But misinformation, there's already a lot of dummies out there, man. We do not need to galvanize the idiots. Idiocy does not need to be galvanized or reinvigorated. We need to let that idiocy die out. But yeah, so what I was talking about with speaking of ignorance and idiocy, it's a perfect segue into what I was gonna say. Before I went on a tangent about Tech Dumb Dad. So look. So I was reading about Sugar Hill, right? Sugar Hill Stewart, who's training Fury. And I read this article, I believe it was Boxing News. And the person who wrote it, you know, there's various contributors, you know that, right? And stuff like that for them. I don't remember who it was specifically. And if I did, I wouldn't say it anyway. But I really don't remember, because I don't like to gaslight anybody or demean anybody. But I will call out stupidity. So they said that they believe that Sugar Hill Stewart is overrated. That's okay. You might think that. But they said the reason because, you know, they don't think that they can help that Sugar Hill Stewart, can help Jared Big Baby Anderson, which I also agree. I don't think anybody can help Big Baby Anderson. Not because Sugar Hill can't. I'm saying I don't think anybody can, because I'm not sure he has a desire there. But they said that Sugar Hill Stewart may be overrated because outside him training Tyson Fury, he hasn't led Tyson Fury to beat any good boxers. He said he led him to beat Dylan White, Derek Chisora, and Deontay Wilder. He said none of those guys are top boxers. You know what I said? This is what I said to that. You already know what I said. I said two things. First, I said, "Shut up, bitch!" Oh, that was the first thing I said. And then the second thing I said, "This mug." Idiocy is already too galvanized. They don't need our help. They are faithful to their fellow idiots. That's a fact. That's a fact. You're right there. That's a fact, what you just said. So, like, once again, so I don't mind. Let me explain to you, elaborate on my thought process. This is why I thought he was stupid. Or whoever wrote that. I don't know, he, she, whatever. I that this person was stupid because if you don't subscribe to Sugar Hill Stewart being a good trainer, okay, that might be right. If you don't think that Deontay Wilder is a good heavyweight boxer, okay. What's not debatable is that Deontay Wilder is a top heavyweight. If Deontay Wilder is not a top heavyweight, and if Tyson Fury didn't beat any good boxers, how the hell did he become the best, known as the best boxer of this generation? Heavyweight boxer of this generation. Do you not see how that's contradictory and oxymoronic? If Tyson Fury is considered the best heavyweight of this generation or this era, but at the same time you're saying he didn't beat anybody, he didn't beat any good boxers, the era top boxers. Deontay Wilder was 10 years undefeated, 6 years a heavyweight champion, world heavyweight champion. They have many defenses. Whether you like Deontay Wilder, that's fine. Or you don't have to like him. You don't have to think he's good. But you have to be objective. If Deontay Wilder is not a top heavyweight, that means there's no top heavyweights. Deontay Wilder was a top heavyweight. That's why Tyson Fury got catapulted into being the best heavyweight until he lost to Usyk, which is another story I'm going to get to. Until when he beat Usyk, that was to determine who, by consensus, who was the better heavyweight. Because remember when they first fought? Anthony Joshua just came off a loss to Andrew Ruiz. So we're going to stop that right there. And Deontay Wilder already beat the other guy who was considered a top heavyweight. It was four. It was Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Louis King Kong Ortiz. Deontay Wilder already beat Louis Ortiz. Tyson Fury already beat Klitschko. He's an older Klitschko, but he still beat Klitschko. So it was between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. So whether you think he was good, whatever. Whether you think he was bad, whatever. But to say he's not a top heavyweight, he was the top. It was him and Tyson Fury as the top. Him, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua. That's number one. Number two, the reason why he said that Tyson Fury didn't beat he or she, like I said, I don't remember who wrote it. They said that Tyson Fury, he didn't lead Tyson Fury to any good victories is because he's thinking that he was still his trainer against Usyk. Like there's any shame to lose to Usyk. Usyk is a cruiserweight undisputed. Usyk is the first heavyweight undisputed champion in a quarter century. That's 25 years. Since Lennox Lewis. So that's what I said. When people write these articles, dog, it's really crazy. Like you could be so dumb. Like you have to have the ability to be objective, man. Objectivity is like a dying art, I guess if you want to call it. Like I don't know, man. Common sense ain't that common, I guess. Like some stuff goes past your personal agenda, your personal preference. You might not think that Deontay Wilder has the skills to be a good boxer, or you might not like him. You might not even think he's good. That's fine. But to say he's not a top, maybe all the top heavyweights are all bad. That's a possibility. That's plausible. But to say he's not a top heavyweight, if he's not a top heavyweight, I promise you there's no top heavyweights in the last 20 years. I mean, maybe I'm exact. Yeah, about 20 years. 10, 15 years. There hasn't been any top heavyweights. The top heavyweights, even if it hasn't been that good, I will agree to that. I think that the heavyweight division for the last few years has been kind of barren, and now it's getting more competitive. You're seeing more parity throughout the individuals of the heavyweight division with Zhang, with Joseph Parker on his resurgence, Anthony Joshua seemingly improving, even though it could be smoke and mirrors with his win over Otto Wallen and Francis Ngannou. He still looks like he's improving with Ben Davison. Tyson Fury, you got Alexander Usyk. We have Ajit Kabayel. Ajit, who I always say, Ajit is legit. You know what I'm saying? Ajit Kabayel looks very good. Daniel Dubois is coming. You know what I'm saying? He's improving. Philip Hergovich, he was considered the boogeyman until he lost to Daniel Dubois. All of a sudden, now he's trash. I don't get people. You still have Frank Sanchez, who was considered a very good boxer. He lost to Ajit Kabayel. All of a sudden, he's trash too. Like, bro, I don't understand, bro. I swear I don't understand. But anyway, it's becoming more. There's more moving parts. And there's more good fighters. I said out. There's more good fighters to bounce. You know what I'm saying, to go from. But to say that Sugar Hill didn't lead Tyson Fury over any top heavyweights, and he led him over Deontay Wilder, it's just crazy, bro. Because please believe, it's just crazy to me, bro. Like, say that you don't like Sugar Hill, that's fine, or you don't like Deontay Wilder, that's fine. But whether they're good or not, those are the top heavyweights. The top heavyweights in the last 10 years, 15 years have been Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Deontay Wilder. Regardless if you like Anthony Joshua, don't like Anthony Joshua. Like Tyson Fury, don't like Tyson Fury. Like Deontay Wilder, don't like Deontay Wilder. If you think Deontay Wilder will lose to every heavyweight champion in history before him, all his predecessors. If you think Tyson Fury will lose to all their predecessors. If you think Anthony Joshua will lose to all their predecessors. That's a whole other statement than to say that they're not at the top. If they're not at the top, then who's at the top? They're literally the top. Bro, it's crazy, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Yo, Richard Hudson. Who is good? Who is going to win between William? We'll get to that. We're about to talk about. I don't want to get knocked off track too much. He said, but we'll get to that, Richard. Please don't forget to remind me to double back to that comment. The Celtics are cooking. Hey, supporter, you see him? Who is going to? I read that. He said Sugar Hill was raised around Emmanuel in the gym his whole life. Rest in peace, Emmanuel Stewart. He is a very good trainer. Fury's dad was kryptonite for Sugar and Tyson. Keep John away, yeah. John Fury, yeah. Sugar and Tyson take this rematch in my opinion. Yeah, but that's the thing though. Even if you don't, that's okay. If you don't like him, if you're not convinced, that's okay. But to make stuff up just to control, manipulate a narrative, or try to reinforce how you feel is crazy. Don't try to merge opinions and facts. That's what he was trying to do. Try to blur the lines. It's an opinion that you think he's a good trainer, and it might be a very reasonable opinion. But a fact is, but it's a fact that he led him in victory against a top heavyweight, which was Deontay Wilder. Like I said, that's not. You could be at the top and not be good, because you could be at the top of a bunch of trash. But you're still the top trash. It doesn't change your position. You see what I'm saying? Like if I have trash right here and I have trash right here, both these items may be trash, but one trash is on top of the other one. So that means that this is the top trash. And I'm not saying Deontay Wilder trash. I'm saying that's what the article was clearly trying to say. When you call a fighter trash, is because they lose a fight, it takes away from the victory. Exactly, Tech. They are the best. There's no question in that, supporter. I'm not saying that Deontay Wilder is the best. Whatever. I think it's pretty clear that I like Deontay Wilder. I like Tyson Fury too. I have no problem saying that Tyson Fury is the best. I think that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight of this era, this current era. You know what I'm saying? With it, of course, now Usyk has supplanted him as that because he just won. But I'm saying up until the Usyk fight, Tyson Fury was the best. Yo, Jamel in the building. City gang in the building. Supporter in the building, my bad. Richard in the building. So yeah, man. So we just gotta be careful. And then that brought me to my next point, Tech Dumb Dad, was that, and I will say this. I agree with the article. I don't know if Sugar Hill can help. I do think he's a good trainer, but I don't just because I think he's a good trainer. I don't know if he can help Jerry Baby Anderson. So I agree with that premise, but I just disagreed. You know what I'm saying? We got to the same destination, but we took completely different routes. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't say that. I'm not sure that Sugar Hill could help Jared Big Baby Anderson. I'm not sure anybody can help Jared Big Baby Anderson, because I don't think the problem is with his camp or his people around. I think the problem is with him. I don't think that he's dedicated like that, but I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, but to say that Tyson Fury hasn't beat any top, that's what he said. I could show you. He said top heavyweights. If you would have said good, it's different. He said he didn't beat any top heavyweights. What? And speaking of what Tech just said, Wilder's Hall of Fame facts. Hall of Fame guaranteed. Guaranteed. Whether you like him or not, he's guaranteed Hall of Fame. It's funny, when I made a video about him being in the Hall of Fame, I told anybody to bet me. No one wanted to bet. They wanted to talk shit and say that I'm dumb, and they wanted to refute my comment, but nobody took my bet. You know what another thing that nobody took my bet with? Nobody took my bet that that Deontay Wilder would be in the Hall of Fame one day, and then no one took my bet that dang, what was the other one? I can't remember what it was now, but people talk trash. But I said, we want bet on it. Nobody bet on it. That's one of it. It was another thing. It was something else too. I can't remember. Trilogy, but damn, man, he don't deserve all that hate, bro. He don't deserve all that hate. Like I said, if you think that he's not good, that's cool. Everybody got their opinions, And I mean, he's not the best boxer, but he maximized his talent, and he was undefeated for a while, and he was not. More importantly, he defended his titles. But then, speaking of what Tech just said, yo, Moonlit, what's good, Moonlit? I wanted to double back on the part where people hate, right? And no, not the part people where you said that when you say the fighter is trash when they lose, you take away from the accomplishment of the fighter that beat him. I like Tim Bradley, man, but I was watching Pro Box on here, and I got to be honest. I'm always honest, man. I like Tim Bradley. I like Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri is actually my favorite on Pro Box. I like Paulie Malignaggi too. I think they're expressive. And what I like about them is that it doesn't feel fake with them, whatever their takes are, whether you agree or not. But I say something, but Tim Bradley said something today that kind of, it was indicative of the boxing community. It's kind of to follow back on what Tank just said. So they were talking about Frank versus Tank, right? And they were like, oh, we want to see that fight, and Tank, they're like picking who they won, who they predict to win. And they said Tank, Algieri said Tank, Paulie said Tank. And then Tim Bradley said, I want to see Frank knock down Tank. And so Paulie said, oh, wow. So he said, yeah, I want to see how Tank responds to get knocked down. And it kind of like, in a way, if he bounces back and he survives, not only survives, but he dominates, you want to see how he responds, which is fair. That'd be dope to see. But Paulie, which I did like, he followed up on it. He said, hey, man. He said, wait, so are you saying Frank Martin's good enough to do it? And Tim Bradley said, yeah, he thinks he's good enough to do it. He said he thinks that Tank will win, but he thinks Frank Martin can be that guy to touch up Tank. And so Paulie said, wait, hold on, man. He said, so do you think that, so with that state of mind, are you saying that if Tank beats Frank Martin, it's a great win for him? He said, no, I won't be impressed. He said, bro, he didn't say these words, but he said, bro, how can you have both of those at the same time? And I was like, bro, that's a contradiction that people do, though. Because if Tank loses to Frank Martin, they're going to say, oh, man, that's a great win for Frank Martin. Frank Martin looks good. He's proven. But if they're going to say about Tank, they're going to say that if Tank wins, oh, we expected Tank to win. It's nothing. That's an easy win. How can you expect a person to drop somebody But then on the same exact sentence, the same exact breath, you also say it won't be impressive if Tank dominates Frank Martin. But you just said that Frank Martin, you think Frank Martin is capable of dropping him. But then in the same breath, you literally just said if Tank beats Frank, it won't be impressive and he gets no credit. Because that's what you expect. So basically, unless Tank lose, all he can do is lose. So he can never impress you. All he can do, and that's the same way people feel about Canelo. That's the same people. That's why Canelo doesn't want to fight Benavidez. I want to see David Benavidez and Canelo fight. But that mentality right there, people get mad at the boxers and be like, "Oh, we want to see this boxer fight this boxer." But then when they turn around and tell you, "I'm not gonna get any credit for this," hence Canelo versus Terrence Crawford or Canelo versus David Benavidez, then you'd be like, "Oh no, he's bullshit. We gonna give him credit." No, you won't. You won't. Because Tim just he was the embodiment for those 10 seconds of the majority of the boxing community. They'll shit on you if you lose, but if you win, they won't give you any credit. That's crazy. That's insane, bro. That's completely contradictory. How can you say one hand that this person is good enough to hurt this person and beat this person, but then on the other hand, if the same person beats that person that you think is good enough to beat him, you're not impressed? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. Ricky Hatton got his weekend Wilder. We'll get in. Facts. Yeah, it's just, hey, man, shout out to Ricky the Hitman Hatton. Hey, Ricky Hatton. Now, I like Ricky Hatton, though, man. People be hating on my boy Ricky Hatton, man. I rock with Hitman. I rock with the Hitman, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I like Paulie Malignaggi, but I was going for Hitman against Paulie. I ain't gonna lie. The only time I was going against Ricky Hatton, I like Ricky Hatton a lot. Like I said, I don't know if it's because it was just aesthetically, but I loved his shorts, man. His shorts are fire, man. That blue with the white tassels on it, his shorts are always fire. But the only time I was going against Ricky Hatton was against Pacquiao and Floyd. I like them better. I disagree with Tim often, but he is a real one and true of his thoughts. Yeah, thoughts and opinions. I just don't understand that, bro. I don't understand that at all, man. And that's the majority of people, you know. And the reason why I brought up Canelo is because if Canelo fights Terrence Crawford, Canelo's like, hey, man, I'm not going to get you credit because they're going to say I'm too big if I win. And if he loses, they're going to say he's a bigger fraud than what they already claim he is. So Canelo literally gets nothing out of being Terrence Crawford. So I want to see it, but I agree with his thought process because he's right. Look at Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a perfect example. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, when they fought, they're like, oh, this is to determine whose era boxing it is. Errol Spence got destroyed, got demolished, got battered, got bruised, got brutalized. However, he's not trash because he lost to arguably the pound for pound best, if not at worst, Terrence Crawford is top 3 pound for pound. No matter what order you have Terrence Crawford, Usyk, or Inoue, is those 3 are top 3. You see what I'm saying? So how are you trash by having one loss to somebody who's widely considered the pound for pound best? People call this man Errol Spence trash now. Errol Spence is another one that's going to the Hall of Fame. People they're ridiculous. Same, and so with David Benavidez, with Canelo, I want David Benavidez and Canelo to fight because I think that's a great fight. Because I think it's a great fight, you know. That's why I want them to fight desperately. However, Canelo is the one with the established legacy. Canelo is the one that has all these accolades, including undisputed. Canelo is the one that has Hall of Famers on his resume. Canelo is the one that had a trilogy with Triple G. Like I said, I always say this. He had to fight for every G in Gennady Golovkin's name. So that's a whole lot of G's. And then he's the one that traversed different divisions. His legacy there's nothing that Benavidez could do for his legacy. The legacy that can be established is David Benavidez for beating Canelo. Canelo doesn't. He gets a little bit because he beats the upcoming bull. I'm not saying that David Benavidez hasn't earned his shot. David Benavidez actually has literally earned his shot. He deserves the fight. However, for Canelo's resume, David Benavidez is insignificant. Do not get that twisted. If Canelo stops fighting today and never steps in that square circle again for the rest of his life, he's an all-time great, whether you like him or not. That's just a fact. And I don't know why people are in denial of those things. Like I love Canelo versus David Benavidez, and I actually like David Benavidez a lot, and I like Canelo a lot. All this these ideas are not mutually exclusive because I still don't think that David Benavidez does anything for Canelo's legacy. Those are not mutually exclusive. Both things can be right simultaneously. They could both exist together in harmony at the same time. I don't get it, man. So I don't get it. That's what I want to talk about right there. And then also, I want to also say that now I want to get to Naoya Inoue. That took a lot of energy, man. I was hyped about that because it really irks me, man. Like it's like, bro, like come on, dog. We can't do that. We can't say that this person might lose. It's like same with Canelo and Jaime Munguia. I'm gonna get off of old cinnamon after this, but it's like Canelo and Jaime Munguia. It's like he gets no credit for Jaime Munguia because Jaime Munguia is not David Benavidez. Yes, he's not David Benavidez. Jaime Munguia was a good competition. If David Benavidez didn't exist, people would love the Canelo versus Jaime Munguia fight. I thought that was a great fight. Jaime McGee is exciting. We knew Canelo. I thought Canelo would win, but to say anything's a shoe-in or anything's a given in boxing, hello, there's upsets all the time. In fact, they have a category called Upset of the Year because there's so many upsets in boxing. We just saw, now we know, excluding the circumstances surrounding Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, going into that fight and what transpired up until the controversy and the cheating allegations and the failed test, that was an upset. And that was an exciting, intriguing, beautiful upset. It was an upset. No one had, you know what I'm saying? I was going to say no one had Ryan Garcia winning, but I did. I won money. Thank you. Okay? I won money off that. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually like Ryan Garcia, but I'm not in love with him. All these meat swallowers talk about they love Ryan Garcia. I guarantee they didn't win one penny. They ain't win one funky little penny off Ryan Garcia beating Devin Haney. But they love him, and they love him, and they love him to the point where they're going to say the tests are wrong and he could do no evil. But I bet you didn't win no money. I won money off of people say I hate on Ryan Garcia. I was rooting for him. But I don't like anybody that cheats. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. So, yeah, I just think that it's crazy that people think that these fights are givens, man. Frank Martin could easily beat Tank. Not easily, sorry. Frank Martin can't, it's a possibility he could beat Tank. You know, just like Vosdick could beat Xavier Benavidez. Just like Liam Paro could beat Subriel Matias. These things could happen. Is it likely? No. The smart money and the favorite is David Benavidez, Tank, and Subriel Matias. But that doesn't mean that these competitors are bad, man. So yeah, I was so glad that Paulie pointed that out because that is contradictory at best. You know, you can't say that somebody will look impressive or you anticipate that somebody's good enough to beat somebody, but if the opposite happens, the other person doesn't get any credit. Come on now, come on, dog. We got to keep it funky, man. And that's just unfair. He might as well not even box. So basically you just want to see him lose. He's not good, but if he loses, then he's a fraud. But then again, and I will say, and this is why I say that Tim Bradley is consistent, because he said the same thing about Filip Hrgović. He said Filip Hrgović is a boogeyman, and that Filip Hrgović is gonna beat Dubois. But then when Dubois beat Hrgović, Tim Bradley said that Hrgović was a fraud. Come on, bro. So basically, Daniel Dubois gets no credit because he beat a fraud. No, bro, it don't work like that. Daniel Dubois, to me, was the most impressive on that Queensberry versus Matchroom card because of the way he beat Hrgović, because I thought Hrgović was going to beat Daniel Dubois. I just don't get that thought process, but I'm not supposed to understand anything, you know what I'm saying? I have my PhD for a reason, I'm not smart, but I'm not the smartest person, never claimed to be, but I'm definitely smart. I definitely ain't dumb, and I definitely apply a thought process, and I'm a fan of logic and logical thoughts that make sense. But yeah, man. So now let's get to also I want to talk about Naoya Inoue. So Naoya Inoue showed up. My boy City Gang was talking. It'll be a great fight. It'll be a dream fight, and a lot of people are talking about Naoya Inoue coming to New York, I'm saying, Shoe York City, you know what I'm talking about? We saw Bruce Shu Shu Carrington, he's at the featherweight division, excuse me, which is one weight above where Naoya Inoue is currently at, which is super bantamweight. He's at featherweight, 126, and it's widely anticipated that Naoya Inoue will eventually move up to featherweight, but I don't think he's going to move up anytime soon, maybe in the future. So I think that the Shu Shu Carrington talks is a little early, but I do like that he showed up, and he scouted out the competition, man. He was eyeballing Shu Shu, and I think he was impressed with what he saw. I like the fact that they acknowledged each other after the fight, and I do think that's a good fight, man. I think right now at this moment, I have Naoya Inoue. I think Naoya Inoue beats him. Well, Shu Shu already expressed that he can't go lower than 126. He wouldn't go lower than 126 if they fought. It had to be at 126. So I think even if Naoya Inoue moves up right now at this very moment, I think Naoya Inoue wins. I think Shu Shu only has like 11 fights. He's a little green right now, but I like what I see from him. I like the fact that he could seamlessly switch up his style. Against Brian De Gracia, right? This past weekend, he went from counter puncher to boxer to brawler, all in the same fight. It's like he seemingly sees. It seems like he sees what the opponent is giving him and what he's willing to do with that opponent to capitalize on him and look impressive, you know. So I thought that was dope. You know, he took a couple hits, but I didn't think he had to take all those hits, but I thought it was kind of calculated, and you know, and he felt like, hey man, you know, he gauged his powers like, this guy can't seriously hurt me, so let's brawl, and I think I'll win, and that's what he did, and I love that from him, man. I think in about like two or three more fights he'll be ready for Inoue, but does Inoue move up in 2 or 3 more fights? I don't know. Maybe he might move up by next year. Late next year, I don't know, but whenever he does, that's a good fight. But I do think now Inoue has a plethora of options. You know, I want to see, like I said, my favorite Japanese fighter, small weight fighter, but Japanese specifically. So you talk about Japanese fighters and Naoya Inoue and stuff. My favorite Japanese fighter is Junto Nakatani. I think what my dream would be is for Junto Nakatani and Takuma Inoue, who's Naoya Inoue's younger brother. I want them to fight. I think Junto Nakatani would beat Takuma. And then I would like for Naoya Inoue, it'll set up like a revenge arc, you know what I'm saying? Naoya Inoue going to meet Junto Nakatani to enact revenge or for his brother's loss, or avenge his brother's loss. I think that'd be a super fight right there, man. And I'd have Junto Nakatani over Naoya Inoue, man. I like Junto a lot. Like I say, he's my favorite fighter from the far East Coast type shit. And I think Junto Nakatani can win, man. So if you ask me who I'd rather see right now, I like Shu Shu Carrington a lot, but for me, a much more intriguing and interesting fight is Junto Nakatani and Naoya Inoue. And then whoever wins between those two, which a lot of people will say Naoya Inoue. Me personally, I bet on Junto Nakatani, especially if he's an underdog. That could set up that fight, and then the winner of that fight, which probably Naoya Inoue, would fight Shu Shu Carrington, you know what I'm saying, later. So I think that makes more sense in my opinion. That's what I would like to see, but that's just me though. He said Shu Shu looked elite Saturday. I was very impressed. He played with his food and ended the Facts. Anyway, won't move up for 2 years, but 2 years you think? 2 años? But Shu Shu would benefit from the more from that more than anyway. I agree. I think the later it goes, like in 2 years, a year and a half, I think that benefits Shu Shu more. I agree. I think Sandor has a real shot at upsetting Haney. I would get some hate for that, I'm sure. Not for me. But I think that whooping Ryan put on him was more mentally damaging than I agree. You won't get no hate from me. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think that I think Devin Haney should fight Sandor Martin, and I think he can beat him. I'm not betting on that fight, but I think Sandor Martin has a good chance, especially not even what you said about forget Devin Haney for a second. I do agree, number one, that the mental toll that it took on him could be potentially more than the physical toll, because somebody like him probably never, as he should, probably never thought that he would get done like that. Number one, but number two, forget Devin Haney. That his opponents or his enemies, they got the blueprint now. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I tell people all the time when people say, oh, Fem Dizzy, appreciate you in that follow, but welcome to the Lion Gang. When I tell people this, man, they think I'm crazy. I'd be like, bro, the undefeated thing is not that you're unbeatable. But you're unbeaten and you have that aura of invincibility because nobody has figured out how to beat you. They may have figured out how to come close. They may have figured out what a hole in your game, but they have not figured out how to beat you. Ryan Garcia showed the world how to beat Devin Haney, which we should have already known because Jorge Linares kind of knocked on the door right when he stunned Devin Haney. Lomachenko kind of, you know what I'm saying, took a little chisel and chipped away at his armor when he kind of wobbled Devin. I'll say he stunned Devin Haney. I'll say Jorge Linares wobbled him. And then Ryan Garcia came and kicked that door down. Now Ryan Garcia doesn't count because he, you know, say his integrity and all that stuff is in question now because he cheated, apparently, whether it's unbeknownst to him or not, whether it's intentional or not, he still cheated. It was in the system, so he cheated by definition. But yeah, now people know how to beat him. So now Devin Haney, it's up to him to not only pull himself out the slums and out the gutter from a mentality standpoint, but he has to also kind of reinvent himself because now people are coming for your head top, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if Sandor Martin just try to walk him and rush him down and say, hey, I think I could take those jabs better than you can take my punches. So yeah, I agree with that 1,000%. After you get beat up like Haney did, everyone you fight after that will be checking you in the same way. That's a great point. Facts. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, everybody's gonna be checking him the same way. You know, so I think that's the biggest obstacle for Devin Haney, like you said, mentally, of course, because you're only as good as you feel. But his opponent's got the blueprint now. You know what I'm saying? Jorge Linares is like, okay, maybe I can get him. You know, if you watch Jorge Linares against Devin Haney, be like, okay, maybe I got a little hint, got a little blues clues, got a little breadcrumbs to follow. But now Ryan Garcia left no doubt, no doubt, you gonna shake him. You know, yeah, that's what I think about people. I know they're doing the purse bids. You know what I'm saying? And I hope he does fight him because that'd be a good challenge. I think, but I do think that Devin Haney, stylistically, he should be able to beat him. But you know, right? Sandor Martin, hey, don't be surprised he come out like he's from Spain, right? So pun intended, he gonna come out like a Spanish bull, man, right out the gate, charges. So Devin Haney gonna have to be the matador. And he gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, avoid him and stuff like that. Now I want to get to my boys City Gang. Oh, we talked about Shu Shu in a way. I think Richard said something. Richard, if you're still here, you said who was going to win between Billy Smith and Rhea Pork? I don't know, man. That's a good fight. I think that's a good fight, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. Tank versus Martins and Benavidez versus Ukrainian guy. Benavidez versus Alexander Vazik. I'm not gonna lie. So the upcoming fights this weekend, I have the favorites. So I have Tank beating Frank. I have Benavidez beating Vazik, and I have Subro Matias beating Liam Paro. However, that doesn't mean that it's a shoe-in. Adam Hurley in the building. Adam said Inoue versus Carrington would be a big fight even this early in Carrington's career. It would be early, but I don't think he's ready right now. Like I said, I know you just came in, but I think it'll be a better fight for Shu Shu and for a competitive standpoint if it happens like at least another year and a half. I ain't gonna say year, at least another year. Maybe this time next year. I say maybe December, maybe winter next year, 2025, late 2025. I'll be cool with it. But I think right now, you know, Shu Shu only has 11 fights. You know what I'm saying? And he just got his 11th fight this weekend. So I think even if he is ready, I'm not saying. First of all, I don't know if he'll ever be ready. We're hopeful, right? You know, because Naoya the Monster, he earned that nickname Monster. He's a monster. So I don't know if he'll ever be ready. And when he is ready, that don't mean he gonna win. So, but I do think he'll be better prepared in about a year. You know, that's about a year and a half. Haney will have to prove he can push you back if you come after it, and I don't think he can. But yeah, I agree. And we haven't seen Devin. Exactly. We haven't seen him do that, so why the heck would he start now? I'm ain't gonna lie, man. If I was Devin Haney's opponent, I'm coming in with dropping bombs. Haymakers all day. I'm not even gonna play with you. I'm not even gonna play with it. Every shot is a haymaker. If I get tired, damn it, I get tired. I'm throwing. What's that move in Street Fighter? Ayuken. I'm throwing Ayukens out the gate. Ayuken. He gonna have to show me. He gonna have to show me, bro. I'm throwing everything at him in the kitchen sink. Yeah, you got to show me. It's rematch. Rhea Pork already beat Smith. Yeah, I know by split decision. Yeah, I know. But Smith wanted to be a champ. Yeah, I know support. I don't know who wins that. Yeah, I'm aware of the rematch. Vazik will make it interesting for a handful of rounds, but he won't be able to take the power. But Benavidez, Vazik already admitted he couldn't take his power when he sparred David. Yeah, I saw that on Jim Lampley, so I want to talk about that. You got Rhea Pork because Smith both haven't really improved since. Okay, I'm not mad at you. I know you really know your fighters, man. So I want to talk about the I actually want to talk about that, man, about Jim Lampley. I saw that. So David Benavidez, yeah, that's funny. You took my words right out of my mouth. So Vazik was talking to Jim Lampley, who I think is, I'm not gonna lie, maybe I'm a little biased. I grew up with HBO boxing, so to me, Jim Lampley is the best ringside commentator. Him, Roy Jones, and Max Kellerman, those are my three favorites. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really like Larry Merchant. Larry Merchant played his role in his position well. You know, he was the agitator. You know what I'm saying? So you know, you kind of. You grow to love him, but I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate him, but not like him. I don't like Larry Merchant, but I appreciate him. I don't like Jim Gray either. I can't stand Jim Gray. I like Larry Merchant more than Jim Gray. But anyway, what I was gonna say? Oh yeah, so Vazik was talking to Jim Lampley, who I think is the best, one of the best, if not the best commentator, boxing commentator ever. He opened up to his experience with sparring Vazik, and he said, hey man, you know, Jim Lampley was like, I talked to Vazik, I spoke with Vazik, and Vazik openly admitted that when they sparred, he got the worst of it. And Dave Benavidez was a smile. He's like, man, he said, shout out to him, man. He keep it 100, and you know he appreciate that and salute him for it, which you should have. Salute the honesty. But he was like, yeah, man. He said he didn't do well against me, and this is younger me. I improved naturally. You're gonna improve as you get older. You know you're supposed to. And he was like, yeah, man. I took away his best move, which is a jab. To me, that was the most disconcerting news. Was that he took away his jab, because everybody, well, not everybody, because Vazik's not a big fighter, right? Known fighter, he doesn't have much renown. Alexander Vazik has a great jab. A lot of people don't know Vazik only has one loss, and that's to Artur Beterbiev. And guess what? When he lost to him, he lost by knockout, of course. Artur Beterbiev lost. I mean, he won all his fights by knockout, 100% KO rate. But he lost in the 10th round. He got dropped three times, but that's not important. What's important is 2 of the 3 judges had Vazik winning. So all the way up to 10 rounds, Vazik was winning. And I can't remember the scorecards off the top of my head, but I know one had him winning by like 4 rounds. Another one had him winning by, I think the other one had him winning by like 2. So he was winning pretty comfortably. That's interesting, right? Because Beterbiev, I know people, Beterbiev is kind of like Tank. he has so much power. People are so enamored with his power that they forget that his boxing. I think that they undervalue and underappreciate their boxing ability. Better be is not the best boxer. Like when you talk about somebody like Bivol, I think Bivol is a better boxer, but Bivol is at the top of the food chain when it comes to being a better boxer. Better Biev, I don't think the gap is that big. It's just that I think clearly, even if it's a little bit, Bivol is clearly the better boxer. But Better Biev has that power, and he's slightly, you know what I'm saying? He might be slightly outclassed when it comes to boxing skill, but he's not a bad boxer at all. The same thing I say with Tank and Shakur. I think Shakur is the best technically, but is Tank that is a differential that much to where Tank's phenomenal power doesn't close that gap and supplement that little slight difference in the technicalities? I think it does, and that's why I think with Better Biev too. I think Better Biev might overcome the slight boxing skill disparity with his power. But anyway, I digress. So with Vazdik is a good boxer and he has a great jab. And when Benavidez said that he took away Vazdik's jab, that was very. I was like, oh yeah, because I was thinking about putting money on Vazdik. Not no more. Not no more. I'll tell you that. Not no more. He took away Vazdik's jab. Oh, it's a wrap. If that's true, it's a wrap. Benavidez won all day. Jim is the GOAT. Talk to him, Square. Talk to him, Tech. I'll call you Square Circle. My bad. Bill Smith is the same he was 3-4 years ago. Yeah. Carrington should beat Inoue. Inoue got dropped by Donaire and Neary. Carrington can beat him off speed and footwork easy, then skills and IQ to finish. I don't know about easy, Eric. Was Eric in the building? What's good? I don't know about easy, man. I don't want to discredit. Not saying you are discredited. I'm talking about for me. I don't want to discredit Naoya Inoue, but I think it's a good fight because I do think that Shu Shu can capitalize on the holes in Naoya Inoue's game. Like that's why I tell people all the time, man. Being unbeaten and being unbeatable are two different things. Naoya Inoue is unbeaten. He's not unbeatable. And what Louis Neary showed in that first round, that he could be touched. But why did he get touched? Because Naoya Inoue takes risks, and that's why we love him. We don't love him because, well, those of you that watch, people that actually watch boxing, we never thought that Naoya Inoue was a perfect fighter. He throws wide punches. He throws heavy punches, heavy-handed punches. Sometimes he's off balance, and that's what Neary caught him. You know what I'm saying? But I was impressed that the fact that when he got caught, he got up, took his time, kept his composure, and he proceeded to beat the hell out of Louis Neary as we expected. Because I'm gonna be honest, no disrespect to Louis Neary. Louis Neary is a good fighter, but I thought he was overhyped and overrated. Because if you watch boxing, you know Louis Neary lost to Brandon Figueroa. So I don't get why everybody was acting like Louis Neary was such a threat to Naoya Inoue, and he lost to Brandon Figueroa. Brandon Figueroa is a good fighter. He's not the caliber of fighter Naoya Inoue is. Not from a power standpoint, not from a athletic standpoint, not from a, you know what I'm saying? So I don't get why people were surprised. I mean, I don't get why people thought that Louis Neary. Now, anything can happen. Obviously, I was surprised when Louis Neary caught him in the first round. I wasn't expecting that, but I thought he was an overhyped opponent. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you have to do that because they're smaller weight divisions and a lot of people don't know them. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the field. And you know, in the smaller weight divisions, you have 3 or 4 top guys, and then you have the rest. So you got to hype up the field a little bit. So I get it, but let's be real here, man. If you watch boxing, I don't know why people thought it was doing. And really, I won $40. Somebody's supposed to pay me my money. They ain't paid me yet. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story. But anyway, I think Carrington, to your point, I think Carrington's a little too green right now. He only has 11 fights. You know, but I do think that his sharpness, he's very precise, he's accurate with his exchanges, you know, he sets traps, he's very intelligent in the ring, he watches what his opponent does, watches patterns and breaks you down. Even in the fight that he just had against Brian DeGracia this weekend, you could see him actively. First he was boxing and counter punching, right? Had a lot of defense, and somewhere like in the 3rd or 4th round, I can't remember right now, but it's like he was gauging his power, and then what'd he do? He turned into a brawler seamlessly. That was fire, bro. Like, at some point, he was like, man, okay, I could take this guy's hits. He's not really a risk of getting knocked out. He's like, he gauged his power, and he turned to a brawler. He's like, I'll brawl you, and I'm gonna be impressive, and I'm gonna be appealing to the crowd. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Bruce Shu Shu Carrington. I think he has the tools to break Inoue down. However, I think right now it's too early. I think if they fought today, I think I got Naoya Inoue. But if he gets like another year, I'll say they fight like late December, I think he'll be more ready. Just because you're ready don't mean that you'll win, but I think he'll be more prepared, and I'd love to see that fight in about a year and a half. Good fight, any case, no matter, should bring high views and money to true fans. This is a good match. Also, Figueroa and Fulton rematch. Figueroa and Stephen Fulton, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good rematch. Are they having it, or are you just saying that they should have a rematch? Or is it something that's signed, sealed, and delivered? And like I said, I'm not knocking Brandon Figueroa, but if you can't beat Brandon Figueroa, I don't think you'll beat Naoya Inoue. Unless it was just stylistically something that was crazy. But I like Brandon Figueroa, so I don't want anybody to feel like I was being disrespectful. I just don't think that if you lose to Brandon Figueroa, that you'll beat Naoya Inoue. I'm not going. I'm not going for that. But yeah, him and Stephen Fulton was a good match. I remember that was like a split decision in favor of Fulton or a majority decision. I don't remember. It was a close fight though. But that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one right there too. So yeah, I just think that Arnaldo in the building, man. Big, boop, boop, boop. Big member in the building, man. Let's go, my boy Arnaldo, man. Thank you for coming through, man. What's good? Boricua in the building. Shout out to all my Caribbean folks out there. You know what I'm saying? Big up Jamaica. Big up Puerto Rico. Boricua. You know what I'm talking about? Big up Nigeria as well and America. Yes, sir. Arnaldo in the building, man. But yeah, so now I want to talk about, so we talked about Vazdik. I think that was a little bad news because I was like, man, I don't know. You know, I dropped a video today about who has the best chance of getting an upset. And then go watch the video, by the way, if you haven't done so already. What the heck wrong with you? Go like the video, get that watch time up for your boy. You know what I'm talking about? Hit that thank button, you know what I'm saying? Drop a couple dollars on the stream. That means a lot to your boy. But yeah, check out the last video. But I was talking about who has the best chance to get an upset this weekend. Because for whatever stupid reason, you know, Subaru Matias and Liam Power are fighting on the same day, same time as Tank versus Frank and Dave Benavidez versus Vazdik. I don't get why they do that, man. Like, bro, there's so many other days. Like, why you put in two great fight cards on the same day? Anyway, I'm gonna try to watch both of them. I'll split screen it, whatever. But yeah, so I was talking about who has the best chance to get upset. I think on paper, the closest fight, competitively speaking, is Tank versus Frank on paper. But I think inside the ring, the most competitive will be Vazdik and Benavidez. That was until I saw the interview with Dave Benavidez and Jimmy Lampley, where Vazdik said that he got whooped in the sparring. Well, sparring is not everything, but I didn't mind that. But when Dave Benavidez elaborated, they gave us a little peek into what transpired in the past, and then he said he took away his best punches, which we all know is his jab. That's you take away a boxer's jab. The person who's supposed to be the better boxer, you take away his jab. It's gonna be hard for him to establish anything else. So that was very telling. I'm a little less convinced that fight will be competitive now. But we'll see though. You know, somebody could say something. Vazdik could have changed. He could have worked on something. He could have worked on something, and vividly remembered what David Benavidez did in that sparring session. He could counter it, but David Benavidez has a good camp. Shout out to David Benavidez, his father, Jose Benavidez Sr., and they good over there, man. Even Jose Benavidez Jr. is a good fighter. So they have good stuff going on over there. I always see David Benavidez I saw him working with Guillermo Rigondeaux, you know what I'm saying? That's a guy who had a great amateur background, amateur legend, and he lost to Lomachenko. He's a very boring fighter, but he's a good fighter. I saw him work with Lomachenko. I saw Dave Benavidez work with Guillermo Rigondeaux. Seen him work with Roy Jones. Seen him work with Andre Durrell. I see that man working with. I know he worked with Bivol. I see him work with I see that man work with everybody. So he has a good foundation. He's very studious. And he's a student of the game, so that's always good. So yeah, Vazdik. Although Vazdik has had he's on a 3-win streak currently. All his fights were in 2023. Prior to that, he was coming off a 4-year hiatus, a semi-retirement type shit. And then that was after he lost to Better Be in 2019. So like he has been in the ring with greats, with a great fighter in Better Be, and then he beat also Adonis Superman Stevenson. So he's been in the ring, he's been tested with champions, and he's more accustomed to the weight. So that goes into his favor because David Benavidez is moving up to light heavyweight. However, what is David Benavidez known? He's known as a weight bully, right? He's known for coming in heavy. So it's pretty safe to assume that David Benavidez is already accustomed to be at light heavyweight. So it might be a seamless transition, man. It might be a beneficial transition, is what I'm saying. So, you know what I'm saying? David Benavidez, he came in overweight habitually, and he did it before. He's already been in the ring heavy, so this might actually go in his favor. We might think that it might be a disadvantage. It might actually be an advantage for Benavidez, is what I'm saying. That's why I'm bringing up the weight. So we'll see, man. I don't know, man. So what could seemingly be an advantage for Alexander Vazdik could potentially be an advantage for Dave Benavidez. If Benavidez is gonna finally move his head to take away Vazdik jab. I don't know how he accomplished it. I don't know if he stopped his jab by smothering him. I don't know if he stopped his jab from head movement. Because he said that he fought early, like when he was young, I doubt it's from head movement because he doesn't really implement that much head movement right now. You know what I'm saying? So if he fought him early and he took away his jab and his right hand is what he said, I doubt it's from head movement. I would think it's probably from smothering him. You know, David Benavidez likes to fight on the inside too, El Monstro. So that's what I think. I don't know though. You know, I'm just going off of what I've seen historically from David Benavidez. But I wanted to show Bentley something if Bentley came in the stream. But you know, yeah. So I made that video today about the competition. You know, so I thought that Vazdik may have the best chance, but now I'm reconsidering. And then, you know, and then Liam Paro versus Subra Matias is this weekend as well. I think Liam Paro, I'm very fond of Liam Paro, man, Australian boxer out of Australia, and Australian boxer out of Australia, of course. So Aussie boxer. You know, he only had 2 fights out of Australia so far in his career. So this will be his 3rd time fighting outside of Australia. Matias is definitely by leaps and bounds the best opponent that he's ever fought. I'll say his best opponent that he's fought and beaten so far is Montana Love, which was his last fight. He got Montana Love out of there 6 rounds. Montana Love is a good American fighter too. But Liam Paro is slick. He's not the slickest, but he's slick enough to, I think, where he could give Matias problems. But he does not want to trade or exchange with Matias. You know, a lot of times boxers that fight Matias, they get caught up in the almost inevitable exchange and war, you know, and then that's where Subra Matias really shines. He's tougher than most, and he hits harder than most. But Matias does get hit, so I think, you know, he gets hit a lot. You can ask Petro Zananian, who dropped him. Granted, he didn't literally fall on the floor, but it was called a knockdown because it was deemed that the ropes held up Matias, and which rightfully so, because when Petro Zananian hit him and stumbled him, wobbled him, he literally went from like 3/4 of the ring all the way to the other side of the ring, and the ropes definitely saved him. He would have fell. So I thought it was a good call. Matias is he's not undefeated, but he beat everybody. He beat everybody by stoppage, knockout, and he avenged his 1 loss to Petro Zananian. But yeah, so you can look at his fight against Jukumbayev. He gets hit a lot. Ponce, he gets hit a lot. Ergashev, he gets hit a lot. So Matias is there to be hit. It's just that a lot of times when he gets hit, you know, his opponents get caught up and drawn into that war and exchange and trading blows, and that's where you lose. So if Liam Paro is he able to move around enough and not get caught up in that and try to outbox him, then I think he has a good shot of winning. I think Liam Paro can accomplish that. I'd like to say he's slick. I just don't know how slick he is, because to sustain that is hard too, you know. And I tell people to look at Tank versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz. A lot of people are so enamored and infatuated with knockouts that they somehow discredit Tank for not knocking him out. Isaac Pitbull Cruz is a champion at 140 right now. You know what I'm saying? He has relentless pressure. Look what he did to Rolly Romero. And I say Rolly Romero is the best, but you definitely, Rolly Romero is strong, right? Tank is strong. People thought that Rolly was going to be able to knock out Isaac Pitbull Cruz just like they thought Tank was. But Tank is well documented that he hurt his hand, but Tank outboxed him. I think that's indicative of how underrated Tank's boxing skill is. If you see how he beat him, he was able to maneuver around that relentless pressure, because Isaac Pitbull Cruz is relentless with his pressure, and he's very, very durable. That's why I like Isaac Pitbull Cruz. You know what I'm saying? The pit bull. So that's what I think is. Liam Paro is not as relentless as with the pressure as Isaac Pitbull Cruz, or I would say he's not as like. He has relentless pressure, but it's more methodical. Isaac Pitbull Cruz is coming at you. So I think that Subra Matias could wear you down, but I think that bodes well for Liam Paro if he can outmaneuver him, which I'm not sure if he can accomplish that, but I'm looking forward to that fight, and I do think he has a chance. I think people are writing him off. I think Liam Paro does have a chance for an upset. You know, he was supposed to lose against Montana Love, and he won there. So then next up we have Frank Martin, of course, going against Gervonta Tank Davis. I think this is another potential underdog story, man. People are overlooking Frank the Ghost Martin. You know, his best win was against Michael Rivera, probably, where, you know, that was a good fight. The guy that resembled Muhammad Ali from a physical standpoint, from a look standpoint, not from accolades and accomplishments in the ring standpoint, but from how he looks. And he beat him convincingly. I think he dropped him in the 7th round, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, but he just, so Frank Martin looked great in that fight, but his last fight against Artem Hunter-Union, who's going to be fighting Shakur Stevenson, he gave Artem Hunter-Union his first loss, but he didn't look the best. you know. But still, you know, sometimes you just got to win, you know. I think Frank Martin is dangerous because he's accustomed to being the underdog, have that underdog mentality. He feels like nobody knows him, nobody respects him. And, you know, that's dangerous, man. Somebody coming with something to prove, you know. And I just think that he's a slick fighter as well, very strategic fighter. You know, he'll go to the body, he'll pick his shots. He's not just gonna come at you and rush you down and swing all willy-nilly and recklessly. He's gonna be methodical. You know, he's gonna apply some thought, you know, and be pretty cerebral with his approach. So I think that this poses a challenge for Tank. I expect Frank Martin to win early rounds, per usual of a Tank fight, but I think Tank's gonna come on later. I think he's gonna get him out of there probably with 9 or 10. But hey, man, if you know they have a little lore too, right? They have a little run in the sparring session and when they were younger too. Like I said, sparring doesn't mean everything, but it got intense. You heard Tank at the press conference say that Frank Martin has a brick hand. So I mean, nobody with a brick hand hits lightly. You know what I'm saying? So he does have some power in his punch, some sting in his punches, despite not having a large KO ratio or KO percentage. So I think that yeah, if Tank messes up, man, he could be in for a long night and he could be on the wrong end of a decision, you know, or potentially get knocked out. But I think Tank is gonna win. I think it's a very competitive fight. You know, like I said, I think that people underestimate Tank's boxing ability. There's no doubt in my mind that Frank Martin is a good boxer, and that's what he's being coined as and marketed as. There's no doubt in my mind that Tank's probably a better boxer than him. So we're gonna see that, man. I'm looking forward to seeing Tank showcase those skills. And yeah, so, but I think for people to say that it's a shoe-in, it's automatic that Benavidez is gonna win, Tank's gonna win, Super Matia is gonna win. I think you gotta be careful, reevaluate a little bit, because these are some good fights, man. These are some great fights. Benavidez will eat those jabs to land power combos in exchange. That part too, yeah, he might do that as well. So yeah, man. So I think we have some great fights this weekend, man. I'm just excited for it. I just wish that they weren't at the same time. You know, maybe if one came on in the daytime and one came on at night, that'd be cool. But so we probably gonna have to split screen the main events. But yeah, man, I think these are some great fights that are about to happen, man. Some great fights. I think Tank's gonna win. I saw something talking about is Tank slipping. Like, how do you know if Tank's slipping or not? Somebody was like, yeah, they feel like Tank is slipping and his skill is declining. Last time we saw him was against Ryan Garcia. He's been out the ring for a year and a half or something like that, because then he had, like, you know, the legal trouble, house arrest or whatever it was. So how do you know he's slipping unless you see him slipping? Like, people just be speculating and saying stuff and think just because it pops in their head. They're like a kid or old senile elderly person. Like, just because it pops in your head does not mean it's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could, maybe he is slipping, but let me see it. I got to see that he's slipping. For now, you going to say he's slipping. Last time we see him, he won by knockout in the 7th round. You know what I'm saying? Against Ryan Garcia, you know? So how can you say that he... I mean, maybe he is too, you know, because he's been out. But to say that so definitively, I think that's kind of crazy. Go and have both monitors going. Yes, sir. Got to, Tech. Got to, man. So, but yeah, I just think... I think these are going to be great fights, man. And if Tank loses, shout out to Frank Martin, man. I think we got a, you know, nice boxing star. That'd be great for him and boxing. You know, I think Tank's gonna win. I'll be rooting for Tank. Tank's one of my favorite fighters. But if he wins, Frank Martin wins, I like Frank that goes Martin too. I just like Tank a little more. Dave Benavidez and Vosnik. I like Dave Benavidez a lot more than I like Alexander Vosnik, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really watch. I probably watched 3 of Vosnik's fights. I watched a lot more Dave Benavidez. I saw Vosnik beat Adonis Stevenson. I saw him lose to Better Be Ever. I saw him fight somebody else. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so I like Vosnik too. You know, there's not too many fighters I don't like, but I like Dave Benavidez a lot more. So I think El Bandana Rojo will beat Vosnik. But you know, Vosnik being already accustomed to being a light heavyweight, you know, and being in the championship level fights before, and being Ukrainian. I'm going to tell you why it matters. You know, I don't care about ethnicity or nationality and none of that stuff, or complexion, none of that stuff. But this matters because, historically speaking, recent history, the Ukrainian fighters been going off, boy. The Ukrainian fighters been going off. Bro, and he's from the same group, right? Denis Berichik, he just beat Emmanuel Navarrete, Ukrainian. Vasily Lomachenko just beat George Ferocious Kambosos, Ukrainian. Most famously, first undisputed in the quarter century, heavyweight, Alexander Vosnik just beat Alexander Usyk just beat Tyson Fury, Yes, you guessed it. You see the theme? Ukrainian. So, and they're all for the same. Those four are in the same camp from since they was youngins, little jits. If that trend is gonna keep going, Benavidez may be in trouble. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he might be in trouble because Ukraine is looking good, and that's why I'm scared for Leoparo too, because Leoparo is the same thing. Same thing is applicable, but just the opposite end of the spectrum. The men for Aussie boxing and championship fights for the men, they've been looking bad, man. Liam Wilson, he lost to Oscar Valdez. Liam Wilson's Australian. Michael Zarafa lost to Erislandy Lara in devastating fashion by knockout. Michael Zarafa is Australian. George Froese Kambosos. We just said he lost to Lomachenko. Yep, you guessed it. Australian. Tim Tszyu lost to Sebastian Fedora. Granted, it wasn't his fault. I think he would have won if it wasn't for that hellacious cut that he suffered in the second round, which was no malicious intent there from Fedora. I think it was genuinely an accidental elbow. But you guessed it again. He lost. And what is he? Australian. The only Australian championship fighter that won is Sky Nicholson. You know what I'm saying? The female. I'm lying. Shout out to Sky Nicholson. She won for the women boxing, and she's Australian. Jay Opatai is Australian. He won. Sorry. He just won on the he just fought. When did he just fight? It was on the same night as Usyk and Fury, right? Was it on the same night? Yeah, I think it was the same night. So Jay Opatai just beat I can't remember his opponent's name right now. I should know his opponent because that same opponent also fought Alexander Usyk. I can't remember his name right now. But yeah, so Jay Opatai also won. He's Australian. So they have Sky Nicholson and Jay Opatai, but the rest of them, they've been looking bad. So man, David comes forward too much and he could possibly eat a hard punch for the Ukraine. That's true, Robert. Robert in the building, my guy. That's true. He could potentially do that. I agree with you. It's not out of question, man. These are some good fights. We love it. You gotta love boxing right now, man. Excuse me. You gotta love it, man. And speaking of boxing, a little outside boxing, I was talking about this too. Not too many people peeped. I made a post about it. Shout out to Savannah Marshall for winning her PFL Professional Fighters League debut. That's MMA. She went and beat what was her name? Morella Vargas, I believe is her name. She won by TKO stoppage. Her ground game was looking shaky, but that's expected. She's a boxer. But but she was on her feet, and that strike game looked crazy. You know, she beat the hell out of that girl. Punched the hell out of that girl. So shout out to Savannah Marshall. She immediately called for a rematch against Clarissa Shields in the PFL because, you know, Clarissa Shields is 2-1 in PFL. She also looked good her last fight against Kelsey DeSantis. But Clarissa Shields she has a fight coming up at heavyweight, man. She's challenging for the heavyweight title in the women's boxing, man. So shout out to the GOAT. You know, shout out to the GOAT, man. She's doing her thing, you know. Yeah, if she gets a heavyweight title, and it's so crazy because according to Boxer Rec, her fight against her opponent, I can't remember his name, Johannes. Dang, I can't remember her name right now. Something Johannes. But it's for the light heavyweight title and the heavyweight title. So that's interesting. But yeah, man, shout out to the GOAT, man. Gold medalist, undisputed in what, 2 or 3 weight divisions. Man, Clarissa Shields is a beast. And that'd be interesting to see that fight though in an MMA setting between her and Savannah Marshall. And I like the camaraderie that they had between each other. Clarissa Shields rooted for Savannah Marshall. They talked after the match, and it was cool to see them. They have their rivalry. They respect each other, and you know, it's like a friendly rivalry now, man. I love that. You know, you ain't always got to disrespect each other. I like the disrespect too. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like disrespect, but you know, sometimes you grow a friendship, man. Those friendships last. You know, they had a great fight in the boxing ring. Hopefully they can have another fight, a great fight, equally great fight in the cage, right? The dude who Billy beat. Nah, not Mark Heffron. Wait, wait, what'd you say about Mark Heffron? No. The guy that Jay Opatai beat was the guy that what's the name beat? Alexander Usyk beat. Mark something. I can't remember. It starts with a B. His last name starts with a B. Maris Bradis. Alexander Usyk also fought. That was a rematch between Jay Opatai and Maris Bradis. But Alexander Usyk also fought Maris Bradis. I don't think Christian. Yeah, Christian. You're talking about Christian and Billy. He just beat Mark Heffron. Mark Heffron, who Christian and Billy beat in like 40 seconds. That's a hard transition boxing. Yes, it is, Robert. It's very. That's why I respect him. That's why I respect him, man. I respect him, man. Shout out to Holly Holmes as well, who did it. She was a boxing champion, went to MMA and did her mother freaking thing. Shout out to Holly Holmes, man. You know what I'm talking about? These women be doing amazing things. Just that women's sports, unfortunately, is not as popular as their male counterparts. You know, it is what it is. It's life. But shout out to them. Shout out to them, man. Well, yeah, man. Anybody want to join and talk boxing? You know, like I said, you can always join the Discord. I always forget to put the link in the chat. I'm sorry, but the Discord is there. You can always join the Discord if you want to talk. You can join, man. I'll put you on the screen. So I have all these screens right here, man. Not just for show, but if anybody wants to pull up and have some things they want to say, get off their chest. You want to ask me anything, you want to debate, you want to just have a discussion, it's cool. We can always just talk, man. And like I said, I'm not one of those channels, those people that's trying to prove that I'm wrong or prove that I'm right and prove somebody wrong. It's okay to have varying opinions, but now if you want to ask me something, you better come correct. You know, if you want to try to show me that I'm wrong, you better come correct, because I don't just have opinions off of emotion. I've usually put thought process behind it. So, you know, I'm gonna be at your head top if you come to my head top. But yeah, we can just have a discussion. Everybody don't want to be proved. Some people just want to get their thoughts off and be heard. That's fine. Everything doesn't have to be a debate or a disrespectful one or a vicious one. But we could do that too if that's what y'all like. It don't matter. But yeah, so I pretty much covered all the things I had. Oh, let me go use the bathroom real quick. While I go use the bathroom and run this ad on y'all real quick, man. I'll be right back. Watch this ad. Yo, it's your boy Doc again. I know you sitting there like, did this Doc just run his own commercial? Yes. Yes, I did. In the middle of the street, we run our own ads. That's what we do right here. So when you see other boxing channels implement the same idea, I don't mind people biting us. But dang, at least give us some credit. So those of you that are rocking with me, you're already a part of the best boxing channel on YouTube.
That's a fact, ain't it? Ain't it? All right, then.
You already caught up. Those that don't know, the rest of the world, they just got to catch up, baby. You know, and they eventually will, you know, because we bring y'all unfiltered, unbiased, raw, and educated and funny boxing takes, man, with accurate information. Can they all say the same? Of course they can. So let's get right to it, man. Why do you want to become a member of this channel? Because we already told you we're the best, but it does come along with perks, you know what I'm saying? First off, you can join at the STREETZ gang prospect level. You know, it's only $2.99. I know times is rough right now, but you can still contribute, you know what I'm saying? And what do you get? You get member shout outs like this. Shout out to my boy Kendrick for being the first STREETZ gang prospect member, you know what I'm saying? And then we go to the next one, STREETZ gang contender. That's the second tier of membership level, you know, and it comes in at $4.99, and you get all the perks of the previous tier like this. Shout out to my boy Merle the Legend, who is our first member at the STREETZ gang contender level. Big salute to him. In addition to that, you get members only polls. You get to be involved in that, and you get to connect with me, your boy, on social media, and I follow you back, you know what I'm saying? It's all love for my brother and sister out there.
But wait, there's more.
And then if you really want to hold it down for your boy, you can come in with a belt at the STREETZ gang champion level, man. That's $8.99. That's a lot of love. So you get all the perks of the two previous tiers. We don't have anybody at that tier yet, but then not only that, you get to plug in your own social media to have people follow you, and you get to pick the topic of discussion, because you know our discussions are always fire. You know what I'm saying? Fire. So I appreciate y'all showing love, but this is to show us support. Outside of being a member, you also get shout outs like this. Smoochie in the building. You know what I'm saying? Smoochie be showing love with the super chat. And you get a shout out like this. Spaniard hold. All right. My bad. I cut the commercial short. I'm back now. You said, I thought Mark Heffer was Australian, but it's Murdoch. Oh, you talking about the guy? I know you talking about Rohan Murdoch, right? The guy who fought Christian and Billy. I know you talking about. Yeah, Rohan Murdoch. That was a good fight. But you right, Murdoch. Yeah, and Billy beat him too. You right about that. Yeah, we got Rohan Murdoch. I remember that. That wasn't Christian Billy's last fight, but the fight before that, right? If I'm not mistaken. So he fought Mark Heffron last, but the fight before that was Rohan Murdoch, I believe. Yeah, that was a good fight. That was intense. High action. You know, a lot of action. Action packed is what I'm trying to say. Action packed, man. I also want to show y'all this too, man. And this is why sometimes I get a little perturbed, a little annoyed. I want to show you this, man. I wanted my boy Bentley to be here, but he's not. So I'll show him another time. But this is why this is what we were talking about yesterday, right? About people just having a preconceived notion and them being prejudiced or borderline racist and that driving their comments and they try to project it on other people. I want to show you this comment real quick. Look at this right here. So I made this video, right? I'm gonna make my face disappear. So I said, who will shock the boxing world? Tank versus Frank, Benavidez versus Vazdik, or Matias versus Power? I just made this video today. This idiot right here said, he said, you mentioned David missing weight, but ain't mentioned Tank missed weight before these black dudes always hating on Mexican fighters. What? So in this video, I literally say that that David Benavidez, he's so dumb. I said that David Benavidez missed weight as a point to say that he'll be successful at light heavyweight because he comes in big. That's the reference I was making. And I literally say that. I say, yeah, David Benavidez, he comes in big. He's known as a weight bully. So most likely he'll be able to handle the weight at light heavyweight anyway because he comes in big for a lot of his fights. I wasn't saying that to diss him. And who cares, even if it was a diss, and even if Tank missed weight. Did Tank and David Benavidez miss weight the same amount of times? David Benavidez missed weight a few times more than Tank did. If you want to go for that angle. So that was even his comment was stupid. His comment was stupid on two fronts. But because he thinks that way, he thinks that he's probably Hispanic and he hates on black fighters. So he thinks that black people, which me being a black person, he thinks that I'm automatically hating on a Hispanic fighter. Bro, I said Benavidez is gonna win. I like Benavidez. I literally just told y'all today I like Benavidez more than Vazdik. But you see, and that's what we were talking about yesterday. It's like, man, people will just say stuff and do stuff, which is just crazy, bro. People will project their own feelings onto others because that's how they think. They're ignorant and they can't leave their own ignorant ass mind, so they think that other people also think as ignorantly as them. No, I don't think like that, bro. And even if I did bring it up, Tank missing weight, that has nothing. He's not moving up to fight Frank Martin, so that had nothing to do with the conversation. The whole point of me saying that David Benavidez sometimes comes in heavy, or people call him a weight bully. Even in the video, I even say I don't think he's a weight bully, but whether you want to call him that or whatever, I mean, sometimes you could, it's applicable, But I said the whole point of me bringing that up was to say that he may not have to make as much of adjustment as we anticipate because he probably already used to fight him with light heavyweight, and it might even be beneficial. He might be stronger at 175 than he is at 168. But people just hear what they want and they just it's crazy, man. People are just very ignorant, man. Very ignorant. There are people more retarded, I'm telling you, than I am. Bro, you are not racist. Thank you. I guess I'm racist because my favorites of all time are bad. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Robert. Bro, I get that all the time. Bro, I literally have a sentiment emote. Y'all know Canelo's one of my favorite fighters, bro. I made a video about David Benavidez and Canelo, and I was like, man, I would love to see this fight, but Canelo doesn't have to fight him. But I would love to see this fight because he is the mandatory, and David Benavidez deserves that fight. And someone came and said, man, why the Mexican fighters got to do everything, man? You just hating on Hispanics. I bet you didn't tell Floyd to fight Errol Spence or Floyd to fight Triple G. I said, bro, so literally, if you take your so I'm hating on Hispanics because I want. let's say it was true. So I'm hating on Hispanics because I would want David Benavidez and Canelo to fight. So I want a Hispanic to fight another Hispanic dude. So I'm hating on Hispanics. It makes no sense, bro. Bro, I get the most outrageous comments, bro. I get the most outrageous. Oh, man. If you would have saw the video where it's not just from the Hispanic folks either. It's from age. If I say something about Naoya Inoue, oh man. If I don't say Naoya Inoue is the best, I remember I said that Naoya Inoue and Terrence Crawford, they could go. I said, man, I don't know who's the best. You can have them either way. I have Terrence Crawford #1, but Inoue could be #1 as well, man. I think they're better than the rest. Oh, you only like Terrence Crawford because he's black. Bro, I literally, you know how many black fighters I would have to have Naoya Inoue over in order for him to be number 2? He's just not over the one black fighter, so that means that you're racist because you think that's the only reason why I have him over. So I have him better. So I race against white folks. Every white fighter I got him over. I race against them. Every Hispanic fighter I got him over. I race against them. Every other black fighter except Terrence Crawford though. I just like Terrence Crawford's blackness. I was like, jeez, boy. Oh, and when I made a video saying that I think that Devin Haney was going to lose to Ryan Garcia and I put money on Ryan Garcia, oh my gosh. So some black fighters said, oh, I'm going to sell out because how I got a Hispanic fighter over a black fighter. I was like, bro, I really watch boxing, man. I'm sorry that you don't, man. There's nothing wrong with liking a fighter that looks like you or shares a culture of you or from the same hometown, the same nationality. Whatever floats your boat. Everybody's not in the same boat with your stupid, simple, slow ass. I'm not in that boat, bro. I like boxing. I like boxers for other reasons besides their complexion, you know? I'm not knocking you for it, but I do. Like, Pacquiao's one of my favorite fighters. Floyd, I think, is the best. Floyd is the GOAT to me. Floyd is the best fighter. That's my favorite, number 1 favorite fighter. But I also like Pacquiao a lot. I also like Canelo a lot. I like Tank a lot. I like Liam Paro a lot. I like Junto Nakatani a lot. It's so crazy, bro. Every time you can't say anything without having to prove something to somebody, dog. It's like, jeez. If you say but some people are just natural contrarians. They just, if you say up, they gonna say down, just for the sake of argument, bro. But I appreciate you, Robert. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you, bro. That's why I love you, bro. Thank you, man. When real one supports you, it don't matter. As long as one real one supports me, if it rocks with me, man, that's more than 10,000 haters, bro. Bud is number 1. Bro, Robert, even if you got now you're number 1, that's cool. If you have Usyk, right now I have Usyk number 1. Does that mean I want to be white or whatever? I don't know. that means I'm racist against black folks. I'm prejudiced against Asian folks, and I'm hateful against Hispanic folks because I have Usyk number 1. Yeah, I'm in love with whites. White is right, I guess. Bro, that shit don't matter to me, bro. I just like good boxers, and you know, some boxers I like for other reasons. You know, I like Tank because I think his skill set is awesome. I like Bivol because I like his skill set as well. I like Canelo because he always impresses me every time he steps in that square circle. I like Floyd because I feel like he was the most cerebral, intelligent fighter to ever step in the ring. The way he breaks down and approaches the boxing game, you know, I love it. You know, I like Wilder because he's one-dimensional, one-trick pony, but he maximizes talent. I like Tyson Fury because he's braggadocious. He talks shit and then proceeds to beat the hell out of you after he talks shit to you and your mama and and the rest of your household. You know what I'm talking about? I like fighters. I like fighters for different reasons, man. You know, I just do. I like fighters for different reasons, man. It ain't because they look like me or they from the same. But there's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with being Hispanic and supporting Hispanic fighters, or being black and supporting black fighters, white supporting white fighters, Asian supporting Asian. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you think that certain people are superior or inferior based off the superficial things, that's when that's a problem, bro. That's a problem, man. A lot of times we talk about race and stuff, man. We are a human race, bro. We are all God's children, man. We are a human race. We are one race. We just come in different shapes, sizes, ethnicities, orientations, religions, and yeah, other stuff too. You know what I'm talking about? We are a human race, bro. We are one race, but we don't treat each other like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like if we were dogs, we're all dogs, just different types. You know what I'm saying? Dalmatian is a dog. A German Shepherd's a dog. A Pit Bull's a dog. A gosh dang, you know what I'm saying? Maltese is a dog. Bud is racist because he had a white rapper walking right. Eminem. And Eminem's supposed to be performing. Man, shout out to Big Turk, man. Big Turk going crazy, man. Big Turk got Eminem. They said Eminem about to perform at the August 3rd for Terrence Crawford versus Israel Madrimal fight. Got Eminem Slim Shady, man. But yeah, but boxing that's how boxing is, man. The majority, I would say not just boxing is plagued by that, but it's a lot of combat sports. You see it in sports all the time, right? Even soccer, man, they do some wicked stuff, you know, especially towards black folks, you know what I'm saying, as far as racism goes. But, you know, you see it in combat sports a lot because boxing does capitalize off the ethnic or racial dynamic, you know what I'm saying? They love to put, look at Floyd versus Arturo Gatti, you know what I'm saying? Black versus white, black American versus white American. Then you have, so many times they explore that, you know, or Floyd versus any Canelo or any Mexican fighter you fought, you know, America versus the Philippines with Floyd versus Pacquiao, and you know, Mexico versus Puerto Rico, you know, all the time as well. Cotto versus Margarito, or even just now was Patrick Teixeira is Mexican, right? Or was he Brazilian? I think he's Mexican. Yeah, I think Brian DeGracia was Brazilian that Shu Shu fought. But I think Patrick Teixeira is Mexican and Xander Zayas is Puerto Rican. So, you know, they always explore the racial dynamic, the ethnic dynamic, but, you know, it gets more people involved. And a lot of casuals are like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but just don't, I think it's wrong when people, when you take it too far. And a lot of times, especially on the internet, man, it's safe for people to be ignorant and disrespectful and stuff like that. But we just got to push through it. No hate to the Mexican brothers, but they aren't good enough for me to hate on y'all. Name 10 Mexican heavyweights. Supporter is crazy, bro. You wildin', bro. You wildin'. Nah, I think that's the thing. It's not even about. That's the thing. You can't get sucked into that, bro. You got to be above it. I know it's hard sometimes, but like, even with that dude, I responded to him, but I didn't say anything racist back or or anything degrading to him based on his ethnicity, because I got friends and family. That's my stepfather's from Honduras, man. My stepfather is Hispanic. He actually looks like, I'm talking about like the same complexion as, Teofimo Lopez. And Teofimo Lopez, that's my stepfather. So, and that's just my step, not to mention all my friends, you know what I'm saying? I got white people in my family. My aunt, one of my aunts is white. You know what I'm saying? I got Asian folks in my family as well, and well diverse like that. And plus, just like I said, not even just family members, just friends, you know what I'm saying? So if I say something about him based on his ethnicity, then by default, I'm offending everybody who has a similar ethnicity. And I don't want to, when I talk shit about an individual. I never want to make a blanketed statement or a generalization that where I unintentionally offend somebody. Because I don't mind offending people, but most likely I'll do it purposefully. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even go that far, because I know he can say whatever he wants. That just looks bad on them. And most importantly, I know they would never say that in my face. So I ain't worried about that shit. It's what's it called? The keyboard courage, internet courage. They be drunk off the characters. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it does get annoying though. I'll be lying, because I read all the comments, because I'm still a small channel. So when I get a comment, I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, let me check it out, read it. So I've been praying on and working on not responding to the ignorant comments. It's something I got to work on too, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm confrontational. I like to talk shit. So, it's kind of difficult for me to do that, but I got to realize that a lot of these people, they have no attention. They get no attention in real life, and they're a bunch of low life losers, so that me giving them attention is what they want, because I'm the first person that noticed them all week. Mexican, I know a lot of fat wannabe heavyweight Mexican champions. Hey man, shout out to Christopher Areola, man. Shout out to Chris Areola, man. I rock with Chris Areola, man. That was a tough cookie right there. Shout out to Chris Areola, man. Andy Ruiz too. He's Mexican American, right? But yeah, I rock. I used to like Chris Areola a lot. That boy, the face would be bloodied up though. Oh my gosh, he'd get punched on, and his face would be bloody. That was a tough SOB right there. That's a fact. You want to see a good fight? Him and excuse me. I remember when Deontay Wilder beat him, but now Chris Areola and what's his name was a good fight. Oh man, Bermane Stavern, that was a good fight. Chris Areola and Bermane Stavern was a good fight. I'm Mexican. I know a lot of. Lance Meyer said that's racist. Who's running races? You spelled that word all the way messed up. What's up, Lance? Smoochie in the building. What's good, Smoochie? Yeah, Chris was a tough guy. Yeah, he was a tough guy. He was always a joy to watch. I think my appreciation for boxing is a little different than most. Like, you don't have to be good for me to like you, bro, or the best. Like Chris Areola, I love watching. Bro, he's exciting. I don't know how people don't like. I will say it's a little harder to get excited for fighters that you don't really know like that, but nah, man, I just like good boxing, man. That's why I be watching pro boxing and all that stuff. They have good fights. I remember Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson was inconsistent. Sometimes he'll put on a great performance, masterful performance, and sometimes he'll come out like a dud. But Lamont Peterson was always fun to watch. What's going on? Nothing much. I'm just kidding. Society soft. I know you was joking, Lance. I know that's why I'm making fun of you back. So you put races, you messed that up all the way. But it's not even about society, Lance. It's not about society, bro. It's about ignorance, dog. It's not about society. It's not about society being soft. It's about society being ignorant. And then with the internet, you can flaunt and demonstrate and exhibit your ignorance without any consequence or repercussion or reprimand. That's why it gets dangerous, because you can just say whatever you want and it's free. And that's why. And you're right, though. No, you're right. I take that back, Lance. I apologize for the correction. You're right, because that does make us soft. Because then when you accidentally say that stupid shit and forget that you're not online, and you say that shit in real life, and someone slaps you in your mouth for it, then you wanna act like you're a victim. So you're right. It does make you soft. You're right, because then you're so accustomed to not getting punished for the stupid stuff that you say. And then when you actually do get punished for it, you get whooped, or you get slapped, or somebody talks trash better than you, then all of a sudden you ought to act like you're the victim. So you're right. No, you're right. You're right. You're 1,000% right. I take that back. I take it back. But Lance, I apologize. You're right, bro. You are right. Lance in the building. Yeah, no, you're right, bro. I apologize. I am corrected. I'm not innocent either. Arturo Gotti. Rest in peace, Arturo Gotti, man. Rest in peace, Arturo Gotti. But I'm never a victim. Right. Everybody talk, people talk trash or whatever, but people are like, people act crazy, man. I think they can say whatever they want, and then you're just supposed to take it, like, and it be, and people, it be the people that wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight. I'm always guilty. That's Captain. Now, Robert, you're a good dude, man. You're a good dude with me, man. You good in my book. You funny as hell. You a wild cowboy. I'll say that. But yeah, man. So. But yeah, so this weekend, wait, is there a fight? There's not a fight on Wednesday, is there? Or Thursday? Like, the next fight is this weekend, right? Like the 15th. I don't think there's any fights in between. Let me check. I don't think there's any fights in between up until Saturday, which is Tank versus Frank, Subra Matias versus Liam Paro, and David Benavidez versus Alexander Vazdik. Who else fights? That Billiam Smith and Riyak Pori. They're fighting this weekend too, right? That's in England though, right? So that'd be early. Dang, we gonna be on all night Saturday. Oh, it's gonna be a long one. Pause. Hey yo.
What?
Yeah, it's gonna be a long one on Saturday. Well, I'm about to get me some snacks, some snacky snacks. No, you right, bro. Pat, don't scratch. You right, bro. That's why my dreads be breaking, Lance. Bro, I don't take care of my dreads, and then I scratch or I twist. I wasn't really scratching, I was twisting. I need to stop twisting because then my hair be dry and I be breaking it off. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no. My girl used to take care of my hair with. Now that go, man. Now that go, man. I'm single again, back on the prowl, and thought it was perfect. I don't know how. Pillow fights are tough, but I can hang in a food fight. Oh, I'm asleep. Frank did say that he was struggling to make weight right before the art. Really? Oh, I didn't know. I missed that. I missed that supporter. I saw the Arnold fight too. I don't remember that. He said he was struggling to make weight? Ooh. Is there a rehydration clause? Which I think there always should be. I've always been I like rehydration clauses, man. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I do. I don't think you should be able to kill yourself to make a weight, and then on fight night you come in 30 pounds heavier, 25 pounds heavier, 20 pounds heavier. I don't know why people like that stuff. Just fight, to me, that's like a form of cowardice. That's like, bro, just go fight at the weight that you're comfortable at. You know what I'm saying? That's like me squatting down so I can make a height limit for a basketball game. And then once the game started, I stand straight up. I'm like Shaq. It was a year ago. Yeah, I didn't remember. Yeah, I remember the Artem fight, but I didn't remember he said he was struggling to make it weight. But I remember they were talking about the sanctioning body implementing a rehydration clause. I remember that. So it says, President Gilberto Mendoza announced that the fight between Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin would include a 12-pound rehydration limit. Some boxers have said that the rehydration clause can make them feel weak before a fight. No. See that's a misconception. The rehydration don't make you feel weak. The fact that you're struggling to make that weight to fight at that weight class makes you feel weak. It has nothing to do with the rehydration clause. Is just words. How can it make you feel weak? You gotta abide by it. You know what I'm talking about? If the rehydration clause makes you weak, that means if you fight at 160 and you have a rehydration clause, it won't make you weak because you'll be able to make 160 easily. So the rehydration clause don't make you weak. The fact that your ass is trying to struggle and squeeze into some stuff that you ain't supposed to fit in, you know what I'm saying, some size 7 boots while you're trying to look cute, knowing damn well that you wear a size 12. You know, you trying to squeeze your foot in. Of course it's going to hurt and it's going to make you feel weak because you're trying to be somewhere you ain't supposed to be in. Rehydration clause don't do nothing to you. A rehydration clause makes you weak if you trying to make 130 and you know damn well your big ass ain't supposed to be at 130. If I have the same rehydration clause, same 12-pound rehydration clause implemented at a higher weight class at 147, and you can make 147 comfortably, the rehydration clause wouldn't bother you. It bothers you because you trying to squeeze into a gosh dang place you ain't supposed to be. That's why it bothers you. He said that he needs to rehydrate more than 10 pounds. Well, then maybe you need to move up, brother. Yeah, Frank does carry a lot of muscle. That's a fact. That's a fact. And he was a former football player and wrestler or something like that too. He'd be wrestling. Hitchens should move up or go down the WBO route. I agree. And Hitchens talk about what he say, because wasn't he the mandatory for Super Matias, the IBF? Don't quote me. And then he was like, he don't know if he could fight him because of the rehydration clause that the IBF implements. No, well then move up, brother. Move up or move or you know, obviously don't move down, because if you can't make it that way, you can't move down. But move up, brother. Oh, you stop. I like Richards and Hitches, but I'm consistent, man. Move up, bro. The rehydration clauses are not the problem. The problem is that y'all be trying to, you know what I'm saying? These fighters these days be trying to squeeze into a weight class they ain't got no business being, because they trying to be the bigger person in the ring. That's all it is. You just trying to get a super advantage. That's all. That's it. Ain't nothing wrong with that if you want to get the advantage, but then hey, if this ain't your body, just somebody says, man, hey. You got to be within 10 pounds come fight night, or the weight limit. You got to be within 12 pounds come fight night, within the weight limit, or the morning of the fight. And it is what it is, man. Yeah, but Frank Martin does carry a lot of muscle though. Odds are really high for Tank. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, that's why I was gonna put money on it, but I was like, man, I gotta stop because I'll make a prediction and then I'll go against my prediction with my bet just because of who's the underdog and how much money you could potentially gain on the upside. But I need to stop doing that because I be losing, you know what I'm saying? I be losing my money because I'm not gonna lie, I be getting the majority of my predictions right. Well, I mean, y'all know that anyway. But sometimes I'll bet on the underdog just because I want to try to get a flip. Then I be losing the money. Did you see a woman became president of Mexico? A word? 37 people who were candidates were killed. Oh, she's a communist. Boxers are planning on moving to other countries. Actually, oh wow, no, I didn't know that. It's kind of like what goes on in Russia, right? Every time Vladimir Putin has somebody that's running against them, they end up dead. I mean, it's not funny. God forgive me. It's not funny because people really be dying, but yeah, it's like that shit. That's some gangsta ass shit right there. Every time somebody that goes to run against you in the election, they end up dead. They end up in a lake somewhere or 6 feet deep. Nah, you got it. I ain't running. Forget running for president. I wouldn't even run in Russia. You wouldn't even catch me running at all. I'll be too scared. Forget running for a position. I'm not running at all. Last time I see people ran, they end up dead. I'm straight. We just gonna have to live this tyrant out. Gonna let that run his course, player. That's a fact, man. But yeah, dog, so I think I don't know, man. Let me look at the odds for Tank versus Frank right now, man. Let's look at the odds, man. Because I don't think it's worth to bet on anybody. I think it's only worth to put like Super Matias. I think he's a heavy favorite. I think Vosnik is the heavy favorite. I mean, sorry, I think Benavidez is a heavy favorite, and I think Tank is a heavy favorite. She's actually Jewish. Oh, word? The president of Mexico? Okay. I mean, he could be. Well, let me not ruffle any feathers, but I mean, Jewish is not it's a religion. It's based off of religion, right? Judaism. But that's a whole nother story. You gotta go back to biblical days and all that stuff, and so people don't get comfortable, aren't comfortable with that. But yeah, Gervonta Davis is negative 600. Frank Martin is plus 400. Benavidez is negative 650. Vosnik is plus 425. Subra Matias, is negative 850. Paro is plus 475. So Frank Martin, your best odds is, the biggest underdog is Liam Paro. I mean, they're all in the 400s though. Some people think that you have to have a white complexion to be Jewish. You could be black Jewish, Hispanic Jewish, Asian Jewish, white Jewish. But like I said, that's a whole nother conversation, man. I ain't trying to ruffle nobody feathers. Okay, remember I was asking about when is Ben Whitaker versus Ezra Araneka. That's that fight is. Wait, that's this Saturday too? Yeah, let's get back to boxing proper. Wait, is that Ben Whitaker? Ben Whitaker's on the Christian Billum Smith card. Oh, let's go. Oh yeah, we gonna have a long day of boxing on Saturday. Good Lord willing, bro. It is. Why is everybody fighting on the same date? So we got the Christian Billum Smith versus Ryakapori, or I pronounce his name. Excuse me, I'm pronouncing it wrong. That card, I forgot, that features Ben Whitaker versus Ezra Araneka, which I'm looking forward to that fight. That's gonna be in England, right? So that's gonna be in the daytime, and then we got Frank Martin, Gervonta Davis, Alexander Vosdick, David Benavidez, Liam Paro, Subra Matias, and Knight. Yeah, it's probably gonna be another 10-hour stream, y'all. So y'all better get your snack cakes and all that stuff. Get your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your auntie, cousin, them, your homies, everybody, man. Get your popcorn and your pizza. We gonna be doing a long stream, man. It's gonna be a long stream, man. Hey. The Connecticut Sun beat the Indiana Fever today. Behind Dejanay Carrington's 22 points. 222. Yep. But hey, man, I don't really have too much more to say, man. I would stay on, but I kind of covered all the topics that I wanted to talk about. Unless y'all want to talk about something in particular, let me know. If not, then I'm going to go ahead and call it. You know, I would stay on if y'all want. But I don't have anything else that I wanted to cover. You know, I don't like to sit around with nothing to talk about. I feel like I'll be boring. So I think I covered everything, man, that I wanted to discuss. I appreciate y'all rocking with me as always, man. And look, we will be back on. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fulton versus Nunes. The Celtics win. Yeah, Celtics won. The Celtics beat the Celtics 2-0, man. The next game is Wednesday? Thursday? Wednesday? Game 3 is Wednesday in Dallas, right? Is it Wednesday or Thursday? Game 3 is in Dallas, regardless what day it is. Yeah, I was right. It's wait, what? Yeah, I was right. It's Wednesday. Yeah, Celtics won. They beat them pretty handily too, man. And I appreciate you, Lance. I appreciate you, brother. Drew Holiday had the team high. He had 26 points on 78% shooting, 11 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? So a double-double. Jaylen Brown's probably the second best player on the court on his team. It was a good matchup, man. It was a good game. I'm hoping for a game 7. I don't really have a horse in the race. I don't really care which team wins. I'm not really a big fan of either one of them. I do acknowledge and admire Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Luka Doncic, and Kyrie Irving's skills on the court, but I'm not really big fans of theirs. So I just want 7 games, regardless of who wins. But it looks like it might not go that far. But he said Fulton versus Nunes. Yeah, y'all be easy, man. Fulton versus Nunes. Wait, Stephen Fulton has a fight already? Oh boy, when is that? Is it oh, I don't see it on Boxing Rec. So they're in the talks. That's dope. But yeah, man, y'all be easy. I gotta look into that. I gotta look into that, supporter. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all rocking me as always, man. Remember, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tap in with me, and I'll also get on sporadically, you know what I'm saying, throughout the week as well. I think I'm gonna start doing daily streams. But if I don't have anything to talk about, I'm not gonna hop on because you know what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, man. So I appreciate y'all rocking me as always. I'll catch you on the flip side. Remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we are nothing. Don't forget to go check the videos out, man. We drop videos every day. We dropped 2 videos today, man. One on the who asked about the Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. Robert, you did. I dropped a video on that, man. Go check it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to do more basketball videos too. I know with this boxing channel. I dropped the boxing channel today. I dropped the boxing video today, and I dropped the basketball video today as well. So go check it out, man. Go check them out, man. Like the video. It really helps the channel grow a lot, man. Tell your people about it too that love boxing, man. Tell them to come through to the best boxing channel. They just ain't heard of us yet, but they about to, man. We are the best boxing channel on YouTube. I really believe that. You know what I'm saying? We keep it real. We keep it funky. We keep it street. Appreciate y'all. We out. God bless. Peace. The doctor's out. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.